Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video, I thought we'd just do a relaxed sort of news video for Dark Deception because, let's be honest, there has been a lot of news for Dark Deception recently, and I haven't really been keeping up with it too much here on the channel because I had a lot of other stuff to make, and I figured you're probably following the Twitter for Dark Deception anyway and know of this news, but I wanted to talk about it in this video. If you aren't, of course, following the Dark Deception Twitter and its developers, and of course their YouTube channel at Glowstick Entertainment as well, I will leave links below, guys, so you can go and do that and obviously keep up with the news in real time as it happens. But today I wanted to talk about the new crossover series that Dark Deception has come up with, which sounds really exciting. I also wanted to talk, of course, about the changes that are going to be made to Chapter 4, especially to the nurse enemy itself that's being remade, and I wanted to go into that. And also talk about something that's happened with me personally in Dark Deception. In case you didn't know, guys, I've been editing their trailers recently on a freelance basis, and I wanted to talk about that and how cool that's been. But yeah, this is just a news video, guys, keeping you up with all the news on Dark Deception, because obviously we like it here on the channel, right? And yeah, there's been some good announcements recently, so let's jump in. So the first one is, of course, that Dark Deception has got a crossover series coming, which they announced on their Twitter the other day, and the first crossover that's coming from this crossover series is for Yandere Simulator. Now, you guys probably already know what Yandere Simulator is, so I won't go into too much detail on that, but it's sort of a twisted sort of horror dating sim type game. Dark Deception will be doing a crossover with the developer on that. However, they did state that the game is being 100% done by our team, and this is a licensing agreement. So it is being made by Glowstick Entertainment completely on a licensing basis, so they will be sort of deciding on all the final design decisions, I suppose. It's pretty exciting though. This is going to be a spin-off series, so it's not going to tie into the main game. It's not going to be like DLC. It's actually going to be an entire separate thing, a crossover series, which you can buy much like the original game as its own thing. So it's a new story all to do with Yandere Simulator meets Dark Deception. It's going to have bosses, they've said, and it's a completely new story altogether. So that is really exciting, and apparently there are more planned in the future. There were some crossovers that they've said haven't worked out in the past, people they've reached out to that declined, but of course this is an ongoing thing, and I think Glowstick are going to keep trying to find developers that are happy to work with them and the Dark Deception franchise to bring these cool sort of crossover series to everybody. And personally, I'm really excited because I've said that there's going to be a unique visual style for this crossover, so it's not just going to look like a reskinned Dark Deception, it's going to be its own thing, and that's pretty awesome. I think it's really cool how like these indie developers can work together. Obviously, Dark Deception's an incredibly exciting game that keeps getting better as more chapters come out, and so, you know, pairing it up with some of these other horror IPs is pretty cool, and we don't see many crossovers happen in the game industry on a regular basis, at least, so it's kind of cool that Dark Deception's trying to get this thing going, and a brand new series all based around this, and that is going to kick off this year, guys. 2019 is going to be when we first get to play the first part of this crossover series, which is the Yandere Simulator. I may be working on a trailer for this, I'm not sure. Obviously, I work on trailers case-by-case basis, so I might be working on a trailer, I might not. It depends if I'm still doing trailers for them at that point, but hopefully I am, and that will be something cool for me to look forward to personally, to edit something on this for you guys nearer the time of release, of course. With that said, guys, I did want to touch on my work with Dark Deception. Now, as I said before, I don't work at the studio, so I'm not privy to most of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Like, I heard about this crossover with Yandere Simulator, you know, a few weeks before it happened. So, you know, sometimes I hear things, but I can't talk about them until they've been officially announced, of course, because I am under an NDA on everything, so I'm not allowed to legally discuss anything. I can discuss it after it's been announced, basically. So don't expect any secrets from me, but mostly I don't even hear about this kind of stuff because I like to be kept in the dark as well. Like I said to them when I started working with them on these trailers, I said to Glowstick that I would prefer to not know about story stuff and, you know, upcoming stuff, because I like to obviously react to it on the YouTube channel for you guys and talk about like theories and all that. So I will be able to do my theories. A lot of you guys have been saying, oh, will you not be able to do theories now? Absolutely will, because they're not telling me any like secrets to do with the game ahead of time. I might sometimes see something revealed ahead of time because I might need to edit it for the trailer, like this new Chapter 4 trailer, right? The purpose of that trailer was to showcase the new music for Chapter 4 for the first time, which we did, as well as a few new character renders that hadn't been shown before, and the 2019 release date. So that's what that trailer was all about. You guys have said, oh, why wasn't there any gameplay in that. It was a very last minute sort of thing that we put together just to tease out chapter 4 really, and there was never any intention to have gameplay. Vince wants this chapter to be very secretive. He wants everybody, including myself, to be surprised when we finally get to play it, and I think that's a really good way to go forward. So obviously it's at his discretion what he shows and what the team at Glowstick show, and they just wanted to show the music, and I think the music track, as you can agree, I'll play a little clip in a second from the trailer, but the music itself is really cool for this upcoming chapter, which is obviously going to feature these animatronics and kind of a FNAF style level, which I'm personally think I'm going to be really terrified by, but it actually seems really cool. I'll just play you a little clip of the music now so you can hear. There are 2 tracks, guys. There's a sort of an upbeat track, and then there's the track which I assume plays when they're chasing you around the level, the kind of distorted version, but I'll play you a little clip from the trailer right here.
It's time to meet the Joy Gang who puts a smile on everybody's face. Just open up your eyes and imagine you're surprised.
So there you go, guys. That was the trailer I put together the other day for Dark Deception, for the sort of the teaser for Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is coming out sometime this year, or at least that's the plan at the moment. It will be coming out later this year, so we don't have to wait too long to play it. I was actually surprised that it was coming this year when I heard that, and I was like, oh, that's actually awesome, because I thought it would be further out myself, but no, it is meant to be coming out this year, so obviously that's in the trailer as well at the end. So we'll move on from my involvement in the trailers of this game, guys, and talking about something else in news for Dark Deception. Obviously, as Dark Deception continues, things change in development, and one of these changes is the nurse design. If you remember at the end of Chapter 3, we actually got a preview of the nurse design for Dark Deception, and this preview showed this render, which basically showed this sort of largely overweight nurse with a sort of bag over her head and the sort of medical symbol on there. She kind of rolled on these sort of wheels, and she had a giant syringe. Obviously, that design has changed. I was actually not that impressed with this original design, I'm going to be honest. My honest opinion is that it looked a bit weird. I think they've kind of maybe agreed with that assessment and they want to do a better job on the nurse design. I'm really excited for the nurse because for me, like, horror in sort of asylums and stuff can be like really effective. I used to love the Silent Hill games back when Silent Hill was good still. I think that if they get it right, they could make one of the scariest levels of the game with this sort of nurse stage in this asylum or hospital or whatever it's going to be. I haven't seen anything of it, but I am very excited for when it kind of gets shown off. I think it's going to be shown at release because Vince said himself, I'd like to have one Dark Deception enemy be a complete surprise. That said, I'm not going to reveal the final nurse until Chapter 4 launches, not even in the devlogs. I will focus on what they used to be and the environment they pursue you in. They've said that the design now looks very different, as you can see on this other tweet, and I'm hoping for like some kind of really twisted looking design. I don't want to say just like Silent Hill, because obviously it would be kind of weird if they ripped off Silent Hill, but I want to see something more like that, I think, than the original design, which just looked a bit odd and not really what I wanted to see personally in a nurse for this kind of game. But again, it's all personal opinion, guys. We like different things, right? But I am excited they're redesigning this nurse now and the level itself and sort of changing into something that aligns more perhaps with what we would expect from such a level, right? I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's cool that they're doing that. And with that said, guys, that is pretty much all the latest news, at least the most exciting stuff for Dark Deception. Of course, it's cool to know Chapter 4 and this crossover with Yandere Simulator is coming out in 2019. I expect Chapter 5 will be out sometime next year, and future crossovers, of course, as well. I believe Glowstick are also planning to do a crossover with their other game, which is called Dead Acres, which I haven't actually played myself. It looks a bit like a Minecraft-style, like, shoot-'em-up game. I'm not entirely sure what that game's all about, but they're doing a crossover with that, and I think they're working on that game to make it better than it was when it originally released a few years ago. It was sort of a game they made, I think, before Dark Deception, so I'll look into that at some point, into Dead Acres, and perhaps do a video on that as well. But that's another crossover coming up in the future, which is going to be part of this mini Dark Deception crossover series. I don't know how many parts there will be to that, but it's pretty exciting. I guess it depends how many developers cooperate and want to be part of it, I suppose. Thank you guys for watching this video. It's been a bit of a weird one today, a bit kind of chilled and me just chatting, but if you do want to see more relaxed videos like this where I just stick some gameplay down and talk about the latest gaming news, of course, let me know, because I can do these kind of videos in the future. And also a massive thank you to everybody at Glowstick, especially Vince Livings, who I personally communicate the most with there, just for giving me the opportunity to be their trailer editor. Even though it's on a freelance basis, it's just really cool to actually have some experience working in the game industry, especially for a game I really love. So this has just been sort of the chance of a lifetime for me to be able to do this, and I'm very appreciative of that and having the option to do this. So big shout out to everybody at Glowstick, especially Vince, for taking me on board and allowing me to become part of this project in some capacity. With that said, guys, I will end the video there. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, of course, give it a like, leave me a little comment down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one, and I will see you on the next one.